I'm Steve Schmidt, president of Frederick Air in Frederick, Maryland, and chairman of the board for ACCA. This week, I'd like to talk for a minute about our favorite subject, Washington, D.C. I'm sure all of you are thinking, what does the stuff going down in Washington really have to do with my business? It's hot, we're busy, and we don't have time to pay attention to that stuff in D.C. That's right, as contractors, we don't have time to deal with Washington. That's why we belong to ACCA and have them watch out for our interests there. Which brings me to a great example of how ACCA is taking care of business in DC for you. Last week, there was a great question on ACCA's contractor forum about the installation of ductless mini splits. A member wanted to know if an EPA refrigerant certification is required to install a mini split. ACCA quickly responded with the answer. What ties this back to DC, you ask? Well, there's more to the story. It seems that there's a manufacturer selling mini splits directly to the public, and a member wanted to know if it was okay. ACCA's Tom Worsham knew exactly who to ask at EPA and fired off an email. Within a couple of hours, ACCA got an answer and posted it to the forum. This is the direct quote from EPA's office responsible for these activities. Yes, adding or removing refrigerant from a mini split as part of an installation and/or connecting or disconnecting hoses or pre-charge lines requires a Section 608 technician certification. Activities reasonably expected to violate the integrity of the refrigerant circuit include, but are not limited to, attaching or detaching hoses and gauges to and from the appliance, adding or removing refrigerant, adding or removing components, and cutting the refrigerant line. Additionally, EPA is now looking into direct-to-consumer sales of mini splits a little further. So the next time a customer says, I can buy that mini split online, why do I need you? You have a clear answer for the customer. Yes, you can find them online, but technically you'd be breaking the law installing it yourself. Improperly installed HVAC equipment can harm the environment by leaking refrigerant, and federal law requires only that certified technicians install it. I'd say that's a pretty good selling point, and one you probably wouldn't have if it weren't for ACCA making sure your interests are protected in Washington. Hey, I'll talk to you again next week.